welcome back. So, since it's nearing Halloween and stuff, I figured we would work on scab burns. Yeah, we'll go with scab burns. I mainly wanted to do this because now that I have joined Cosplay Amino, there are a lot of Deadpool cosplays, and I never really see any scarring tutorials. Also, I'm getting sick again, and if I don't make any sense and I kind of sound disgusting, that's why. Also, this won't be a voiceover. This is actually what my camcorder can do, so we'll see how that goes. So anyway, here we meet again. Translucent and gross. So we're gonna first start out by mapping out where we're going to be putting cotton and glue. I'm gonna be mapping out where I'm going with a brown eyeliner pencil. You can also use eyeshadows or other things, or you can just go straight in with it and do the glue. But we're gonna map everything out. I have a reference picture right over there. You can't see it, but it's over there on my monitor. So I'm just gonna be going off of that. And this is where we're going to be putting the cotton. So now that you got your template, we'll call it that, go ahead and take your finger and start smudging out the ends, because you want it to be where it fades into nothing, just your flat skin. So just go on the ends and fade everything out. And it should look a little something like this. Now you can do any reference picture. I'm using him from the cartoon, not the cartoon. Wow. How's it going up there, brain? Well, it's going good. Everything's stuck in snot. Anyway, I'm using a reference picture of Deadpool's face from the comics. So, that's what I got. So, now... Okay, we were so rudely interrupted by my phone. My mother is buying sunglasses, and she's very impatient with my answer. Anyway, now we take our glue. You can also use latex, but I'm not fancy enough for latex. Yeah, and we're just gonna start filling in these little lines here. You also want to take a cotton ball and destroy it and get little pieces like this. And then in order to get the, I don't even know how to describe the effect. Scabby effect, tin effect, burned skin effect. Roll it into like a little sausage. Like that. Just twist it. And keep in mind, it's not going to look exactly like this. This is just our little template, if you will. So yeah. Now we just want to squirt the glue. I don't even know what this thing is. Weird email. Okay. So now we just want to... Oh, please don't be clogged. Dang it. Okay, so approach number 2. Take a palette knife, or if you're fancy like me, get a plastic knife, scrape out some glue, and just start spreading it on your skin. It's okay if you're messy with it. It's the beauty of SFX. You can be as messy as you want and no one's gonna care. We're not gonna judge you. Oh god. Okay. If you are a beginner at SFX, I would definitely recommend glue, school glue as a starter rather than just going out and buying liquid latex. One, because it's foam. Please. 1, because it's cheaper than liquid latex, and 2, it can be a little bit easier to learn off of this rather than liquid latex in the beginning. So, now we've got an arm full of glue. We're going to take our little things, and I'm going to lay it right here. You can also use toilet paper, but I prefer cotton because it just fades out nicer than toilet paper and it's not as harsh of a line. You don't fade it out perfectly. And I'm going to get some more cotton and let it dry, and then we can color it. Okay, now that we have our cotton that's sealed in its fate, I'm going to go ahead and take more glue. Take our 1-way palette knife. And we're just going to cover the cotton in glue again. Feel free to go ahead and kind of like fill in like around in here. 1, it'll look more like scar tissue, and it'll, if you're like me and you stain like a piece of paper, then it'll save you in the long run, and you will thank me. And when you get a little spot like this, where it's a little harder to blend the seams in, just let the glue sit on top of the cotton, and then it'll be easier to blend it out once it's sat for a little minutes. Not long enough to let it dry, but just enough to get it to soften the cotton a little bit. See how I've let this sit over here, and I can pretty much move it however I want. You let it sit just a teeny bit longer. It's almost like putty. You can make it do whatever you want. Now you can skip the cotton and glue part and just get gelatin. That was my original plan, but I don't have gelatin at the moment, so I won't be able to show you guys that until closer to Halloween maybe. But I will link below some other tutorials on how to use gelatin. And you would basically use it in the same properties as we're doing right now. So now that you've got all of that all that smoothed out. As smooth as you can get. Alright, now what you want to do is get all the glue off your fingers. And basically you want to get a sponge, like, okay, a sponge, and I'm actually going to rip this one apart because I got nail polish all over it and it's so messy. Okay. So basically just get a sponge and dab on the flat sides of the dab with the flat sides of the sponge on the edges of the glue. This will give you a more seamless type of fade. It'll also give the glue a little bit more of a skin effect, and it'll be easier to put on a color without it looking funky. It'll also give the effect of curling burned skin. So yeah, we're gonna let this dry. You can use a hair dryer or something. But yeah, we're just gonna let this dry, and then we can start making it look gross. But see how we have like this little sheen going on? This over here is pretty much dry. We have this like sheen. And if you have a little trouble like right in here, just take your sponge, pick pieces of it off until it's like that. Like that, round. Dip it in your glue. And just go around and make your edges a little bit more gradiented? That's not a word. Also, funny thing, I know this, most people don't care, but I was scrolling through the comments of my art channel, and I had posted a while ago a video tutorial of some watercolor galaxy stuff, and someone commented, "This is terrifying." To that person, well, I don't understand why it's terrifying. It's an art video, but then again, I'm deathly afraid of earthworms, so you're obviously afraid of art videos, so, you know, we all have weird fears, so whatevs, you know, just find that interesting. But I do know why they probably said that, was because my voice is kind of scary. It's like, that's like one thing that I would totally change, would be the way that I sound. 'Cause to me I sound like, not nasally, but like I sound like I have a constant stuffy nose, and I hate it. At least, to me. But yeah, I thought I'd share that with you guys. Okay, now that it's dry, thank you loud cars. Anyway, now that it's dry, you can definitely see how your skin kind of like puckers. It just sounds gross. It like shrinks a little bit and it looks gross and stuff. Actually, no, burns don't look gross to me. They're fascinating. Fascinating to me. Alright, so now you're gonna take a sponge and some lipstick, or you could use cream paints. If you have, this is pretty much just the cheap alternative. If you want to use a more professional product, I would definitely go with a cream paint or one of these Skin Illustrator palettes. I will link all that in the description if I can remember, because you guys know me. You know that I have the worst memory ever. So anyway, we're just gonna take, if you are cheap like me, take a lipstick. This is as bright as I found. I've had this for like 3 years now, because this was the first ever like paint I learned to use. This is Retro Red from NYC. I love their line, so they have a really good line. So you're just gonna take this sponge and, Haven, are you gonna come join me with the filming? Little derp. Little derp. And once you have it on the sponge, just start dabbing it on your skin. And I know it looks really pigmented right now, but I'm gonna go in with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and thin it out. We basically just want to tint the skin to a red color because we want it to look pretty irritated. I mean, the picture I'm looking at right now, which I will hopefully insert in this video if I can figure that out. I'm not that fancy with technology. That was a really bad accent. I apologize. But all the times that I've seen Deadpool's face, it's always really irritated and red. So we pretty much just want to set the tone of the skin. Also, perk number 2 of these lipsticks, they smell like cherries. So, you know, you'll be smelling real good at a convention. Okay, now I'm gonna take some, you want to use a very, if you're doing the lipstick method, you definitely want to use a very low percentage of rubbing alcohol, so I'm using 70%. If you are using alcohol activated paints, you definitely want to use like 99%. So yeah, I'm just going to take a little bit of this on a sponge. I'm going to use the same one that we used for the glue. Actually, you know what? It'll distribute my product. So I'm pretty much just going to take my palette here and pour some alcohol. My dog is freaking out. She's scared of everything. And then we just want to try to dip the sponge and let it soak up all the alcohol. So it'll look real nasty, like that. Kind of like a bloody scallop. And we just want to dab it all over. And you can always take your lipstick and rub a little bit on it. So you want to barely rub. You mostly want to dab the sponge, a really gross sponge. It'll feel really disgusting, just letting you know. but we just want to barely rub, mostly dab. Okay. I really can't see what this look. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some shading. I'm gonna use a darker lipstick. As you can tell, this has been my favorite one. Yeah. This is... oh, poo. It's ripped off. I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. It's ripped off. I think it was like sheer red or something. It's like a play on words. But for this, I'm going to be taking my knife, because we're going to get in the crevasses now. I'm just going to scrape tiny little pieces. Can you see that? There we go. I'll use my pale skin as a white backdrop because, my goodness, I'm very not tan. Okay, basically what we want to do with this is I'm mainly going to get up in there and just kind of like smear it around. And we are going to use the rubbing alcohol once more just to blend everything out a little bit. But this is mainly going where I could not get the brighter red. It's also going to give us a little bit more of a dimension and make it look like these are really up, like really, it's just to make it not look flat. You don't have to be perfect with this, because no burn is created equal. Wow, if I ever get famous, quote me on that. Alright, now that we've got our, oops. So now we're going to get the sponge a little bit more wet with rubbing alcohol. Haven, are you learning? Are you learning stuff? Let's see if I can show you to the camera. There's her feet. There's her feet. Little feet. Little doggy feet. Haven, what are you doing? There she is. A little crazy. Okay. We're gonna do the same thing we did. Except not as much. We went a little ham last time. Okay, so now we're just gonna do the same exact thing. Except we don't want this to go, we don't want it to be as sheared out as our other one. Grab a eyeshadow brush that you really don't give a fluff about, and we're gonna start putting on some shadows. Okay, so I'm gonna be using this huge little eyeshadow palette that I got. This is the first ever palette. This is like a cheap Ulta one. There's like eyeshadows everywhere. And we're gonna be using these darker shades here. We're gonna give dimension in here and some of these little holes